Alrighty, awesome. So just like Jesse said, today again, we're going to be talking about our new line, Folk Art Sign Shop, that is dropping in Michaels. If it's not in your Michaels yet, it will be within the next week, within the next 2 weeks. So if you haven't tuned into our other Folk Art Michaels Sign Shop classes, make sure to take a look at those because we do some really great overviews. Really, we're trying to break this down by all the different and special techniques that you get to use with this new product. So we went over just basic sign making, and then before that we went over a huge overview of the whole product line. And today is really special because we're going to talk about one of the most unique parts of the program, and that is their multi-surface chalkboard paint and their erasable liquid chalk. And so I know on the event listing, we showed you guys a really cute picture of a little calendar that we've created using our erasable liquid chalk. And so today I'm going to go over how to use the product, some tips and tricks on how to use it, and then I'm going to show you guys the beginning of how to create that calendar and all the tips and tricks you're going to need to know to create the whole project. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started.
Sounds good. I think we're ready.
Awesome. Okay, so the greatest thing about this product to me is that you can turn anything into a chalkboard. And I'll show you guys what this looks like in case you want to find the label if you are in person at Michael's. I'm trying to center it. So yeah, so you can use any single Michael's surface and turn it into a chalkboard. And the best part about this, of course, too, is that it's multi-surface. So I'm going to show you guys a bit about that later, but you can paint it on wood, on terracotta, on metal, on glass. The possibilities are endless. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to show you the really awesome things about this product. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape off these edges because I really love these raw edges. And that's, like I said, you guys, I'm going to say this 1,000 times, but that's the best part. You can turn anything into a chalkboard. And so I love this little wood slice and I love these raw edges. And it's going to look really cute with my already existing home decor. So now I get to turn it into a chalkboard.
So what kind of tape is that,
Thanks for pointing that out, Jess. This is just regular folk art stencil tape, and that's available at Michael's. You can use stencil tape, of course, which is my favorite to use, or you could use masking tape, painter's tape. And this is just going to prevent the tape from going outside of, these lines that I want, and it's going to give me some really clean lines for when I paint inside of it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any questions yet, Jess?
Not yet. People are excited. We've got Cricut here watching with us. She said plaid classes are the best ones. Thank you, Cricut. Happy to have you back. Lots of people. Hello from Florida. Hello from Florida again. Hello from New York, Georgia, Tennessee. Tons of people here joining us. Utah, Northern California. We did have one quick question. I just saw it. Can you use cardboard for this?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's multi-surface, so it's going to match on a variety of different surfaces. The one thing I would say is sometimes when we try to paint on cardboard, it starts to swell and we get these really weird bumps. And so one tip I would give you, this is also available at Michael's, I would just want to seal the cardboard. And what I like to use to seal my cardboard is our Mod Podge aerosol spray. So it doesn't matter what formula you use. You can use the matte one, the gloss one, whatever. But that's a really great sealer for cardboard. And then you can go ahead and paint right over that.
Yeah, thanks, Em.
So what I want to do is I just want to make sure that my tape is really flush onto my surface. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that my tape is touching right on my surface so that the paint can't slide under the tape. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint right on. So there's nothing special about applying this chalkboard paint. It is just like regular paint.
Cool.
There's no really special way to do it.
It looks super opaque already.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love the look of that raw wood. Sorry.
Yeah, me too. And I don't think I mentioned this yet, but our chalkboard paint is also great for indoor and outdoor use. So you could put this in your garden, maybe in a kid's playhouse, like treehouse kind of deal. So that's another unique thing about this paint. And the consistency of this paint, I would say, is just maybe like our regular folk art paint. It's not as thick and creamy as our stencil paste, but it's still, as you can see, gives you that really opaque coverage. It's super easy to work with and paint on.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really great. I love paints that only need one coat, one and done.
Me too. And as you can see, that's what's going to happen with this guy.
That's my favorite way to craft.
Me too.
We got lots of people saying hello. Hi from Arizona. Hi from Winnipeg, San Diego, Wisconsin, New Jersey, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, West Virginia. So we've got tons of people from all over checking out this class. So we got a couple questions.
Sure.
Doreen said, can you remind her what you said to prep the cardboard with?
Yeah, so what I like to use to prep my cardboard before painting is Mod Podge aerosol spray. And it doesn't matter what finish you use. You can use the matte one, the gloss one, but that is a really great primer for painting on cardboard.
And then Cricut wants to know, are you using this the same way you would use acrylic paint?
Absolutely, that's a great question, Cricut. You would use this just the same way you use acrylic paint. I mean, the texture between our chalkboard paint and our acrylic paint is indistinguishable.
Okay. And then one more question before you move on. Annette wants to know, what is the drying time for this?
I would say it's also really comparable to just regular acrylic paint. Just give it an hour just to make sure it's good.
Okay.
But then you're good. And just to speed up the process, I'm going to go ahead and blow dry this paint. But just something to note, you can either blow dry with the tape on or you can remove the tape. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
That looks really cute.
Got paint stuck in my finger. I mean tape. Oops. Okay, let's blow dry this.
All righty.
Okay, so now that our chalkboard is nice and dry, what you're going to want to do, the next step you're going to want to do, and this is not unique to this specific chalkboard paint. This is what you want to do for all of your brand new chalkboards, all of your brand new chalkboard paint projects, is you're going to want to condition your chalkboard. There's a lot of different, we always kind of debate about it in the studio. What is that word that you say when you're trying to, well, I don't even know what word to say now. Condition, prime, season, all you
want to get your board ready for chalk.
Yes, exactly. So how you're going to do that is you're just going to take the round edge of your white regular chalk. We're not breaking out our erasable liquid chalk yet. This is just plain old chalk that you use on any chalkboard. And we're going to take the round side and we're just going to rub it all over our chalkboard. And the reason we're doing this is because we want all that chalk to get in all the grooves of the chalkboard. It's not really that there are grooves, it's just all around to all the spaces, so that when we write on it with chalk later, we don't get any marks that last, so we try to erase it.
It's a great tip. Cricut is saying it's season, like season a pan. Like maybe you do a cast iron skillet, yeah.
I call it that too, Cricut.
We were arguing. I was like, Emma, it's called conditioning. It's not called seasoning. She was like, that's what I call it.
Geez, Cricut, you're really smart. Okay, so now that I went ahead and I prime, season, conditioned my chalkboard, I'm just gonna take just a dry paper towel and I'm just gonna erase it.
So anytime you would buy like a chalkboard at the store, if it's already a pre-made like decorative chalkboard, you want to do this. So if you've ever got a chalkboard at the store and you start writing on it and it feels kind of plasticky, or that first time you write on it, it just never really wipes off the way you want it to, that's because you didn't condition it. So, or season it, whatever you like to call it. So that's why Emma's doing this. With any new chalkboard, whether it's Chalkboard Paint or whether it's a pre-made chalkboard, you want to cover the entire thing with just regular dry chalk. So like Emma said, it gets into all the crevices and it'll be a little bit lighter. It won't be as black, but that's just the nature of chalkboards. Over time, you know, it gets a little bit lighter like you can see here, but it'll keep it even and it'll prevent, you know, the first time you write on it to be stuck there forever, because sometimes it can be a little bit hard to wipe off. So this will make it so you can write on this over and over and over again and keep erasing it and it never looks different.
Totally. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I was trying to think of like a cute phrase that you would want to put on a chalkboard that you would want to be erasable. So I thought maybe you'd put on a little chalkboard sign in your kitchen or on your front door, welcome home or welcome to our home. We have a lot of really awesome stencils of some already existing, really super cute phrases that are just, you have to become a part of like all of the home decor trends. So we have a lot of great stencils in our Folk Art Sign Shop line. And I'm going to use this one today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cut out all of the different shapes that I'm going to use. And I think we mentioned this in our last class too, Jessie. You could, you know, keep these intact and just take off the whole thing and place it like you would a regular stencil. And it's really just up to you what you prefer. I prefer to just go ahead and cut out my shape. So that's what I'm going to do here today.
Okay.
And I just want to follow that straight line because the straight edge is going to help me place my stencils.
Valentina said, love how the grains look. And Nicole said, never knew about conditioning, thanks.
Yeah, awesome.
And Cricket said, conditioning is something you do to your hair, Jessie.
That's awesome.
I love that design. That home is so cute.
It is so, so cute.
Those little wreaths, adorable.
They really are.
So just while Emma's cutting these out, just a reminder, we've done a couple of classes on the Sign Shop mesh stencils. So if you want to know more about them, or if you're interested in purchasing these and you want to just have a little bit more information, we've done a couple of classes. The first class was just an intro to the product line. We talked about all the products included. We went over how to use your mesh stencils, how simple they are. So make sure to go on michaels.com and check out the recording of that class because we have tons of great information if you would like to know more.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Jess.
Sure.
So there are two things I could do now. What I wanted to say is welcome home, not welcome to our home. And if you find a really cute word in one of these stencils and you love it, you don't have to use the other words in the phrases. That's totally okay. So there's two ways to do that. You can either cut off the welcome, or you can remove the stencil from its backing, place it on your surface, and then tape right here, just so you don't start to go into the 2-hour part. And another thing I want to mention too is since we just seasoned our chalkboard, we just want to make sure that there's like a lot of loose chalk particles still on here. So we just want to make sure that we get as much of that chalk off of our board so that our stencils lay really, really flush to our surface and there's no bleeding. Okay, so every time before I use a stencil, before I remove it from the backing, anything, I just like to lay out how it's gonna look because that really helps me in the long run. Okay, so I'm going to keep those letters in place and I'm going to remove the stencil from their backing. And if you're new to these classes, you guys, and you haven't heard about our new awesome Folk Art Sign Shop line yet, really what the line consists of is our stencil paste, our stencil cream, and these really awesome mesh stencils, and they're all adhesive. They all have a low-tech adhesive on them. which makes them just super great and easy for stenciling. I'm gonna lay that down, and I just want to make sure that the straight line that I created with my tape is parallel to where my stencil starts.
Okay. And if you did mess up when you're placing these are adjustable, right? You can move them around.
Yes, absolutely. So if I did that and I pressed it down and I didn't like the way it looked, I can just remove it. Like I said, they're super low tack, but they still stick really well to your flat surface and round surface. And then you would just replace it where you want it to go.
Vicky said, my daughter used chalkboard paint on glass mason jars and gave them as gifts.
That is a great idea. And I'm going to show you how to do that.
Getting ahead of us, Vicky.
That is such a great idea. That.
That's really cute. And I love the idea of being able to remove stencils because of course you would, want to make permanent signs for your home and home decor and things like that. But sometimes if you want to write a special message, whether it's happy birthday or seasonal for a, holiday or something like that, you can erase it and keep getting that really pretty crisp sort of like printed or stenciled look without having to put permanent paint on it. You can still get that look with a chalkboard. I love that idea.
Absolutely. Like I always had like a little chalkboard plate in my home growing up at home. And there's always, it'd say happy birthday, Emma, or Merry Christmas or something seasonal to really just something celebratory. So this would be like a great little thing to keep in your kitchen. Maybe someone's coming home from college or someone's coming home from a trip. It's just, there's a lot of great stencils in our sign shop line that would work great for this.
Yeah.
So now I get to show you guys how to use the erasable liquid chalk paint, and I'll hold it up to the camera so you guys can get a better view. And so we're going to treat this like how we would just treat like a normal paint on a stencil. And it is a little bit more thin than our, regular folk art acrylic paint. And it is a lot more thin than our sign shop stencil cream. So, don't be turned off by that when you start using this. It is a little bit more watery than you're used to, but it is erasable. And so it's okay that it's a little bit different looking.
It's kind of chalky looking.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like chalk. It looks like it's erasable. It has that really, impermanent look. And it has this little sponge top. And so what it's doing is the paint is seeping through the sponge, and this is just our our little applicator tool. And instead of dabbing right on our surface, we're just kind of swirl it around. Just like, if you've joined one of our stenciling classes before, there's 2 ways to stencil. You can go, parallel to your surface, perpendicular, or you can, kind of swirl in a circle formation. So we're going to use the circle formation for this erasable chalk. And it's just coming through the sponge.
Awesome, looks really easy.
It's so, how long did that take me? I should have asked you to time me.
I think it was like less than a second, so I don't think it would have made much of a difference.
Okay, so now what you're gonna do, once you use the stencil, you just wanna make sure that you remove it pretty quickly. Okay.
Wow, that looks great from where we can see.
Yeah. You just want to make sure that you remove it pretty quickly, just because you don't want the paint to seep through the mesh stencil and, harden and then make it not reusable, because these stencils are reusable. So anytime I like to use this product, I just like to make sure that I have a water basin right next to me that I can go ahead, or like Jessie has said before, if you're by a sink, I would go ahead and run it under the sink. But usually I'm not by a sink when I'm crafting. So I just like to stick it in a water basin, just to keep it there, just so that it doesn't get clogged.
Awesome. Cricut said it reminds them of a bingo dauber.
Yeah.
And Lynn said,
it's just like a bingo.
No brushes to clean, smiley face.
Yes.
We love that too.
Sure do. So I'm just putting some stencil tape there just so that the chalk paint doesn't get over onto my surface. But the thing is, it's just erasable. So I could erase it.
Yeah, totally. Good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you talked about how they were usable, because I did get a question in the chat of whether they were usable or not. And I was saying that you'll demonstrate it in just a couple of minutes, how you can reuse one of these mesh stencils. You can use them over and over and over and over and over again. As long as you take care of them and you keep them clean in between uses, you can use these many times.
Absolutely. And something that's so great about this liquid chalk paint is that it is just so unique. There's never really been like a paint like that where you can place it through a stencil. Like you can't really do that with traditional chalk, because I could try, but I mean, it's just going to be kind of weird.
It wouldn't stick the same. Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't stick the same. And it might kind of, yeah, it wouldn't, like Jessie said, it wouldn't work the same. It might rub on my stencil weird, but this is just a really great, unique product in this line.
Love it. So a couple questions. Kathy said, after soaking the mesh stencils, will they be sticky again?
Yes, and I can show you that in a little bit, Kathy.
Okay, yeah, we'll hold off on that one. Melanie said, do the chalk inks come in different colors?
That's a great question. Right now, they don't come in different colors, but that's a great idea. And that's maybe something that we can bring to our, research team.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah,
right now,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, just right now, they come in white, just like, traditional chalk color, but that's a great idea.
I love that. We have a few questions. People are really getting excited. They're really thinking about their projects. Doreen said, is that liquid chalk permanent?
No, it's not. So it is erasable liquid chalk paint. And all you need to do to erase it is just get, a damp towel and just remove it, and it comes off great.
And then Annette said, do you clean the stencil with any soap?
No soap. We just need water and just to remove the paint from all of the different, I want to say pores, but they're not pores. So it's a mesh stencil. And so there's kind of this really tiny grid system inside the stencil that really makes your stencil foolproof. And it really helps prevent bleeding and paint going underneath your stencil. So you don't need any soap, you just need water just to really cleanse all of the paint and keep it going through the mesh so it doesn't stay in or on the mesh.
So Cricut said you need to put the stencil directly into water as soon as you apply the paint. And just like we said, yes, you wanna make sure you put it directly into water, because what makes these stencils different from your typical adhesive stencils is that they're mesh stencils. So what's holding the design together is a very fine mesh that it's made of. And that's why you don't need bridges in the designs or anything like that. So you want to keep the paint from drying in that fine mesh texture. And that's why we want to get it right off our project, right into water right away. And that's how you can keep your stencils lasting for a long time and still getting that crisp design. So yes, make sure it goes right into the water.
All right, and then you're left with this super duper cute DIY custom chalkboard.
I love the way that looks. That is so cute.
Yeah. So now you guys, first off, I'm going to show you how well our chalkboard paint goes onto glass. This would be a super cute little treat jar, maybe for some dog biscuits or some candy. This is a great teacher gift, if it's like a little prize jar that teachers have in their classrooms. So many different unique things you can do with this.
I know, storage, like on your countertop. I love that bathroom storage.
Q-tips, yeah, absolutely. So
everybody's loving it.
Good. So you know what, guys, though, before you ever paint on glass, it's just good to wipe it down with either some glass cleaner or some isopropyl alcohol. And that's what I have here. So I haven't cleaned this glass yet. So I'm just going to get a regular paper towel. I'm going to apply a little bit of my alcohol right onto my towel. And I like to stick my hand inside because that prevents the oils on my hands from getting on the outside where I'm going to be painting. And really that's why we're cleaning it, because even if it looks clean to you, there's always oils from your hands that you can't see that's going to become a barrier for the glass to the paint. So you just want to erase that barrier with some rubbing alcohol. All righty. And now we're ready to paint.
Okay, Annette said, so cute. The paint does look like traditional chalk.
Yeah, I know that's something that's, you know, when I first saw this for the first time, I love the way that it really did look like real chalk. It didn't look quite as opaque as regular white paint, but I really like the style of that. And it really is erasable. So
I love that.
yeah.
And Cricket said, I need to go to fairs and farmers markets to sell all of the cute craft projects y'all have come up with recently.
That's awesome, Cricket. And look how opaque this is going on there, Jess.
Yeah, I love that. Tanya said, I like that you can turn anything into a chalkboard. You really can.
Yes.
Just completely up to your imagination.
Yeah, even some little garden pots would be cute. So you can make a little herb garden, and you could, because whenever I garden, I never can remember where I put what. So you can keep track of all the plants you're growing.
I love it.
Okay, and then I would just paint the rim of that, and you can give it another coat if you want. And then obviously you'd want to season it again, because, you know, just because it's glass, any surface, if it's terracotta, if it's glass, if it's canvas, you still want to season it.
Yep.
And then look how cute.
Amazing.
Once it's dry, you can go ahead and write on that guy.
I love it. Make sure you prime it, or you condition it, or you season it.
Yes, whatever it is. Okay, so now what we've all been waiting for. Here's my board that I already painted on. And I'm just, before I even season it, I'm going to show you guys just kind of some tips and tricks, because I've already showed you how to season it. I've already showed you how to paint it on. Now I'm going to show you how to lay out the calendar that was in the event listing, because I know you're all waiting. So they have these really super cute calendar stencils in the Sign Shop line. And these come in one pack. So in the Sign Shop line, in this size of stencils, you get 2 stencils that are back to back, and they come in one pack. So really whatever stencil you buy, there's lots of different designs, like I'll show you. These come in one pack too. I pulled these 2 because I just think they're so cute for Erasable Chalk too. As you can see behind me, if you want to switch to behind me, Jimena, if you can see that really cute menu board, I'll show you guys. Yeah, this is another great idea for your home. You know, you can keep the days of the week. There's also a days of the week stencil, and you can write what you're having for dinner. It's, you know, a great organizational tool, and it looks really cute in your kitchen and in your home. Okay, now we can go back overhead. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out this kind of grid pattern, because this is what's going to act as the, you know, basis of our calendar. And one thing I want to note too, we're going to be going off of these really clean straight lines. So it'd be great if you had a paper cutter at home just to keep those lines really straight. Or of course you can use a ruler and a craft knife, or, you know, just be really careful like I'm going to do today, and just try to keep as straight of a line as you can with your scissors.
We've got tons of great comments in the chat. Vicky said, love the menu board. People are saying they're excited. They're reorganizing their craft rooms right now, so they love the idea of organizing awesome. You know, the chalkboard paint jars. I love that for craft storage. C. Johnson said the coverage of the paint is great.
Yes.
I love it.
I'm so glad. Okay, so I cut that out pretty straight. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. And now what I want to do, thanks. Now what I want to do is I just want to take, so since this is a chalkboard, you guys, instead of using a pencil, you can just use a piece of chalk just to mark like how big this is. And so what I want to do is I want to find the middle of my board. And how I'm going to do that is we're going to do some math, you guys. I hope you haven't lost you yet. When we break out the math
here.
Yeah. So this is 16.5 inches long. And it's 12.5 inches tall. So 16.5 divided by 2 is 8.25. So that's our middle. We say this was 12.5, and that's our middle.
Yeah, so nothing fancy. You just want to find the center, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And maybe we'll just mark right there where our center is. So now that we found our center, we're gonna put our grid there and just mark how big that is. And that's the great thing about this, you guys. You can just use chalk.
Yeah. Valentina said, I think I need to make a chore chart for my kids with this.
That's awesome. I love that idea. That's a really great idea.
Yeah, that is a really good idea.
And we have a lot of great alphabet stencils, so you can spell out your kids' names. So make sure to check those out. And there's all different fonts. So.
Kathy said, what is the base you're using? So this is just a piece of chalkboard that Emma had to show us how to lay out this.
Just some wood that I painted.
Yeah, just to show us how to lay out this calendar.
Flat piece. Okay.
You can do it on any chalkboard or any piece of wood or any Michael surface that fits, that you can paint with the chalkboard paint. You can turn anything into a calendar. Just make sure it's a good size.
And you know what, guys? I forgot to mention. So once we found our center, I just want to make sure that the lines I'm marking are these white mesh stencil openings, not the edge of my stencil. So.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Roxy said, I might make a chore chart for my husband with this.
That's awesome.
That. Great idea. I might do the same thing. You inspired me.
Okay. And now I'm going to mark here on this white line.
Susan said, are there different sizes of letters in the same font?
Yes, there are. We have 3 great sizes. I can't tell you the exact size. I know we have a 2.5. I think we have a 1 3/4 inch. And then we have these baby ones too. So definitely, Susan, check out our very first class. It's on michaels.com under their community classroom page, and it's on their YouTube channel where we do a really awesome overview. And Jessie talks about all the different stencil sizes. She shows you a bunch of cute alphabet fonts that we have in the line. Yeah. Okay, so you guys, there's one.
Emma's very precise. She's very detail oriented.
Yes, and I'm also kind of a perfectionist, so I want to make sure that that's really good for you guys.
She's going to teach you how to do it perfectly. Yes. If it were me, I'd be like slapping them on and just painting away. This is great though. This is a really great demonstration of how to use this. So it's great too, because this sort of calendar pack comes with this little, block of squares that Emma's showing here. And it just comes with the one because you just need the one. So you just, you're going to center it with your little piece there, and you're going to rinse it off and then do it again and rinse it off and do it again. You only need the one because you can just reuse it over and over and over again. So if you do decide to purchase this calendar pack and you get confused why you only have the 1 row of squares, it's because you don't need any more. You can just do that one over and over. And it, again, it doesn't have to be a calendar. It can be any kind of chart, a chore chart, a honey-do list, whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Jess. That's a great point. And that's what I'm going to show you guys how it's reusable too. I'm going to just go ahead and dry one and then stick it back on. It's still super tacky and it works great. Awesome. So now that we made, I hope you can see all these markings, and we just followed the white line. So we're now, it's just smooth sailing from here, you guys. We're going to remove our stencil and we're going to just place it on our surface. And I'm just going to show you guys just a couple of these because we've already done the hard part. We already did math and we worked it out how we wanted it. So now it's just filling in with our chalk. And another thing I want to mention, you guys, is so maybe you're doing this calendar and you want this grid that you worked so hard on to be permanent, but the parts that you want to be erasable is your month name, the days of the week. We also have these adorable, where are they? Oh, these super cute icons, months, days of the weeks, these super cute icons. We have kind of like an Independence Day one. We have a 4-leaf clover, a flower, a snowflake. So it's really customizable to whatever you want to do. And so in my world, I think that I'm going to use permanent paste for the grid. And then I'm going to use the erasable liquid chalk for the month and just kind of everything else I said.
Awesome.
So we have these stencil pastes in some really awesome color packs. And we've already done all the work for you. We picked out some really beautiful color palettes. But we also have just the basic white and black in a bigger size. And these come in a 2.53 fluid ounce. So they're definitely bigger than the ones that come in their own color packs. And I'm gonna use white for this. But really you could use any color. If you wanted a colorful calendar, you could use like hot pink or lime green or yellow, whatever you want to make your grid. And I just want to point out too, if you're new, we also have a bunch of different tools to help us stencil. So we have this really awesome silicone applicator tool. We have this awesome plastic squeegee tool, and we have this awesome brush tool. And so Jesse's been using the brush tool a lot. So I think I'm going to show you guys how to use this squeegee tool. And it just works the same. You just want to get some on your tool, and then you want to just drag down. And the great thing about these stencils is, like I said, they're kind of foolproof. If you've maybe tried stenciling before, but you didn't have the patience for it because you maybe applied a little bit too much paint to your stencil and now it's bleeding over, the mesh stencils are awesome because they're much more forgiving, and you can apply some more paint and you won't run the risk of bleeding so frequently.
That's awesome. And just as a reminder, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I love the idea of using the permanent stencil paste in conjunction with the erasable chalk. So like Emma said, she is going to put this grid down permanently, so it will not erase. It will be on the chalkboard forever. And then the other icons and the month name and all the other information she wants to put on there, she's going to put in the erasable chalk. So every month she can start fresh and she still has her grid there. She doesn't have to reapply that every month. She can erase all of the other things and, go back over with her erasable chalk next month and do, whatever the next month is on the calendar. I love the idea of using the two together. That's really smart.
Yeah. And then something I want to say about that too, you guys, is once, something to just keep in mind, I would probably, before I season my chalkboard, once I have gone and painted my multi-surface chalkboard paint on my surface, I would apply the permanent paint first, and then I would use my little piece of chalk to season it already after I applied my permanent paint, just because, like we talked about before, that barrier, you don't want any oils, any loose particles to get in the way of your surface and your paint. So I don't want any loose chalk to be in between my permanent paint and my chalkboard surface. So I'm going to season it already after my permanent paint has dried. So let's go ahead and remove this stencil. And look how crisp and clean that is, you guys. Doesn't it look awesome?
That looks so good.
I'll hold it up so you guys can see how clean it is. You see?
I love it.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to dip this into my little water basin I have here, and I'm going to show you guys just how reusable they are. So what I'm doing is I'm just, here, I'll show you, instead of trying to like commentate. So it's a little black because it's the same basin that I dip my brush in for my multi-surface chalk paint, but that's totally okay. And I'm just kind of massaging the stencil and really making sure that there's no more paint in the mesh part of the stencil because we don't want it to get clogged.
Mm-hmm. Cricut said if you use the permanent paint, can you just paint over it with another coat of chalkboard paint if you want to do another project or you make a huge mistake?
Yeah, I didn't think about that, Cricut, but you definitely could. You can just go ahead and paint right over it with your multi-surface chalkboard paint.
Yeah, again, all of these work really similar to our normal acrylic paints. So the stencil paste is an acrylic paint. It's just thicker to work really well through these mesh stencils. So that works really well with acrylic paint. And then like Emma said earlier, the chalkboard paint, again, works just like acrylic paint. So you can paint this over each other. If you feel like you make a mistake or you want to reuse that surface for a different project, you can totally do that.
Yeah. So I'm just going along and I'm just really making sure that I'm massaging every piece of my stencil because we don't want it to get clogged. We want to have that nice clean design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and just give it a quick look. Yeah, it looks good to me. So I'm just gonna kind of tap it with my paper towel just because there's a lot of water on it, and then I'm gonna blow dry it. And what I would normally do is I'd probably just let this air dry and let it dry out. But just for time's sake today, I'm gonna hit it with my blow dryer.
Yeah. And it'll be sticky again.
Yes, it will. Okay. Now that our stencil is dry, same stencil, so you can still see like kind of some of the paint in that gray area where there's no mesh stencil part. I want to line up this line right over my already existing line. So you just want to make sure that that first grid is like super, super straight, because that's gonna dictate where every other line goes on your calendar. Just line it up and stick it down, and it's still super sticky. See?
I love it.
And grab my white stencil paste to go over it.
So Lynn is asking if you wanted, can you make your own stencils using the stencil mesh? So currently, no. The way that these mesh stencils work is a little bit different than regular stencils. So I'm thinking maybe you mean like in a Cricut or something. So this material doesn't really work like vinyl because, like I said, it has that fine mesh. So if you were to try to put this material through a Cricut or some sort of cutting machine like that, it would just cut through all that mesh and it just wouldn't work the same way. So these are manufactured by us. It's a very special design, the reason that it works this way. So so unfortunately, no, not right now anyway. But a great question.
Okay, we're almost done. We're just filling in all these spots.
That said, if you do make your own stencil designs at home, this erasable chalk does work through a regular stencil. So if you make vinyl stencils at home, if you make signs and things like that, you can totally use any of these products through a regular stencil in addition to the mesh stencil. So you can totally still make chalkboards, just not with this material.
That's a great point to point out, Jessie. Like if maybe there's an icon that you don't have in here, if you want to put it in your calendar, if there's like your a name or like a funny
logo
icon
or something even. Yeah,
totally.
And then Ashley wants to know, what about etching medium? Can those stencils be used with etching medium? Yes.
Yeah, they definitely can. Etching medium, it would still cling onto your glass or whatever you're wanting to etch onto your surface. It definitely would.
Yeah, we've definitely tested it. And yeah, it does work pretty well.
Okay, now that we've reused that stencil, you guys, it's still just as clean as the first time.
That looks just as good as the first one, Emma. That's a great demonstration.
And so just to save some time, I'm not going to show you all of my 7 rows, but I hope you guys get the point. Let me know if you have any more questions, definitely. But you would just continue that process until you have 7 rows for each day of the week. Awesome. And now, since we're in the month of March, I'll cut that month out.
And again, I just want to remind you guys, a couple of weeks ago, I did a class with Emma, just an intro to all of these designs. So you get to see a bunch of the other designs. You get to see all of the color choices you have to choose from, all the tools. And again, I went through and just showed you how to use each of the mesh stencils and just different ways to do it on your surfaces. So if you want more information about this, if you're really excited to check out more of these and to use them, make sure to check out that class because you'll just get tons of the basic information on this line. Right now, we're kind of doing this, you know, funky chalkboard part, which is amazing. But you can definitely check out that for just some basic instructions.
Absolutely. So I hope you guys saw that. I just took, oh, you know what? I just used the regular stencil cream. I was hoping to use my liquid chalk, but I can show you guys that for the days of the week. And then so clean, you just remove it and it looks awesome.
That's really, I love that little like hand lettered look. It looks so cute.
And it is so absolutely clean. And going back to that etching comment, you guys, I think I would actually prefer to use some mesh stencils with etching. When I first started to learn how to etch, I used it with silk screens and mesh stencils. You just get a super duper crisp line. And like that, see how there's like a continuation that you wouldn't get with a normal stencil, like calligraphy or hand lettering. So yeah, these mesh stencils would be awesome for etching and you get some really, really gorgeous, unique designs. Okay, so it's a little, so now I'm going to cut out a couple days of the week just to show you guys how to use the erasable chalk. So maybe if that's like Friday, Sunday, we'll do Wednesday and Thursday.
Nikki said this would look nice in a frame.
Yes, so originally on our class listing, we had it in a frame. And so this is just a regular piece of wood that I painted with our multi-surface chalkboard paint. And once we're done, we're actually going to stick it in a frame. So like we said in the beginning of this class, that is really the special and unique part. Oh, forgot to put my thing in the water basin, and that's okay. It still won't dry out. That's the unique thing about this product is you can really make anything into a chalkboard. Like this piece of wood that we're going to stick into a frame. So make sure that this is dry. Yep, it is.
Kathy said, can you show your original chalkboard? We actually erased it.
I know, we were so
I know, the one from the event listing,
we realized
we erased it. We made another project on it. But yeah, you can check out the picture in the event listing. And we also have it up on plaidonline.com. You can check out that project. We have all of our new sign shop projects on there, but it, like we said, it really was erasable chalk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did that.
Okay, so because these stencils are kind of tiny and I cut them out to be tiny, I just want to create a stencil tape barrier around just so I don't get any of my any of this on the outside. And like we said in the beginning, you totally could because it's erasable, but I just want to have that really clean line for you guys today.
Yeah, that's a great tip too, because when you're using the erasable chalk, it has that big tip, just like a bingo dauber, somebody said. So this is a great tip. If you're doing something tiny that you want to be erasable, just put some tape around it to protect the edges and you can just go right over it.
Okay. Remove the lid. And you don't have to hold it there for a long time too, you guys. I mean, you can see I just went right over that. And we get this really clean design.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Ashley said, I'm thinking to do the permanent on the actual glass from the frame and use dry erase markers instead of chalk to write in the squares.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Really cute idea. I love that.
Super cute. Okay, look how crisp that design is. See?
I know, it looks so good. It looks like it was printed.
Yeah, really smooth wood. And so the erasable chalk and that stencil are just lying so nicely on this. And maybe we'll do another icon because they're fun.
Just to show you guys some more of these awesome designs.
Yeah, and they're so detailed. I mean, I look at some of these designs, you guys. I know. They're so detailed. Look at that shamrock.
Tina said these are awesome, quick little projects.
Yes, absolutely. It's so, guys, we're located in Georgia, Plaid is, and it's still a little chilly here, so maybe I'll put a snowflake in my calendar.
By tomorrow, it'll be spring though.
Seriously, we'll have to whip out that flower icon.
Nicole said she's in Georgia too.
Hey, Nicole, we're neighbors.
So you understand this weird time of year where it's winter, but also summer in the afternoon.
Yeah, winter in the morning and summer in the afternoon. Look how pretty that is, you guys. And
that looks so good. That looks so good.
It's really, really awesome. And unless you guys, do we have any more questions? Do you guys want to see anything else?
I think we just have a couple comments. Franny just dropped the link for the picture of the calendar. So thank you, Franny, for finding that for us so everybody can see the original project. Tina said, loving those stencils. Someone said, very upscale. These were awesome, quick little projects. Good idea. Very clean. No one will believe it's DIY. I love that.
Seriously.
Yeah, just everybody's really excited about these products, guys. Make sure you check them out. Like I said, they are in stores, in your local Michaels, and on michaels.com. So it's endless, the signs and different projects you can make with these. It's just, there's so many options.
Absolutely. So Jessie, you want to go ahead and pick a winner?
I do want to pick a winner. So I'm going to scroll randomly.
Yeah, so while Jessie's doing that, I just want to remind you all, we have a couple more sign shop classes this month with Michael's Community Classroom, where we just talk about some various tips and tricks that really, really bring out the beauty in these stencils, these amazing mesh stencils that we developed. So make sure to tune into those. We have one, every week for the remainder of the month. Like I said, we just talk about those really awesome tips and tricks. So make sure to tune into that. And if you haven't watched our previous ones already, make sure to go to Michael's Community Classroom page, and where they have all of their already existing classes that have already, been live. Aired, exactly. Or you can go to their YouTube page. So make sure to do that if you love this class today.
Awesome. Thanks, Em. So the winner is, I just scrolled randomly and selected someone. The winner is Debbie Valero. So Debbie, you are the winner for this giveaway. Since you're the winner, we want you to go to the Plaid Crafts page. So on Facebook, type in Plaid Crafts and direct message us and let us know that you are the winner for this Michael's class, and we will get some awesome plaid products sent out to you so you can use it. So congrats, Debbie. Thanks for joining us today. We just want to thank everybody for watching. We love teaching these classes with you guys. We get so inspired by all of you. Thank you to Michael's Community Classroom. As always, thank you for having us. We just love doing this. This is one of our favorite parts of the week. And like Emma said, we'll be back Friday. We've got an awesome Mod Podge class with Michael's. We're going to be doing a really cute Mod Podge tissue paper lamp. So make sure to check that out. And we will see you guys then. Bye.